The clock is ticking. With the climate crisis generating dire warnings, from accelerated extinction endangering up to 1 million species to higher sea levels that threaten highly populated urban areas, we need to step up. The time for action is now. There is no planet B. And Africa will be most affected by climate change, as 7 out of 10 countries at most risk of experiencing the worst effects of climate change are in Africa. Yet, still companies knowingly or unknowingly add to the climate crisis, and others make big commitments with no action. In 2019, at the UN Climate Change Conference in Madrid, over 500 B Corps took the stage and publicly committed to accelerate the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions to reach a 1.5-degree trajectory leading to net zero by the year 2030. This commitment to significant carbon reduction leading to a net zero future is part of the most aggressive climate pledge effort by a constituency of businesses in the world. However, commitments aren't enough. What we need are companies that take action. As consumers, we need a way to know which companies are taking action and which ones are not. We need thorough verified checks and measurements on social and environmental action. At B East Africa, we are working with companies to create action in a time of severe environmental and economic unrest and uncertainty. We guide businesses in Africa to maximize their positive impact on people and the planet, and help them mitigate any negative impact they have. We look at a company holistically to make sure that no stone is left unturned to make it a sustainable business. We evaluate how a business is impacting its staff, its customers, communities, and the environment. The same way fair trade would support the best interests of small producer organizations and agricultural workers is the same way B Corp certification supports the interests of workers, customers, communities, and the planet. Buying from a B Corp is supporting a company that has had to rigorously be assessed by an independent third party to make sure they are doing right. We do all the heavy lifting so you don't have to. One of the businesses that has used our impact assessment tools is Mr. Green Africa. Mr. Green Africa collects, processes, and produces high-quality post-consumer recycled plastic. They close the loop on waste and prevent negative effects on our environment. They make the informal waste sector part of their solution and partner with fast-moving consumer goods companies to position social and environmental impact at the core of a financially sustainable and scalable business, while still creating decent and sustainable jobs in the informal market. We have worked with them, providing the tools, the support systems, certification standards, and methodologies that have helped to drive an environmentally conscious business model. As a result, Mr. Green has adopted their technology-driven plastics collection model that enables waste collection at the source, integrating informal waste workers, micro-entrepreneurs, and consumers into the formal value chain. This has in turn increased the amount of post-consumer plastic waste Mr. Green Africa collects, significantly cleaning up the environment and providing stakeholders the chance to earn a fair, predictable income and benefits. Over the past 6 years, they have recycled over 1,600 megatons of plastic, saving over 4.8 million kgs of carbon emissions from being released into the environment by use of virgin plastic. They have also hired over 2,500 waste collectors into their value chain. To take another example, Biocarbon Partners in Zambia is a forest conservation social enterprise funded by carbon offsets. They scale up livelihood interventions such as climate-smart agriculture and have so far impacted 7,000 households. As a mission-driven social enterprise trying to make the conservation of wildlife habitat valuable to people, they embedded the climate emergency within a sustainable and scalable business model. B-Lab has supported Biocarbon Partners with assessments and frameworks in their business development. Just recently, they kicked off their Don't Buy Our Offsets campaign, where they're offering advice to carbon partners on ways to achieve zero emissions first before offsetting with them. This campaign is counterintuitive They really want buyers to think before they buy offsets and internalize the changes needed to reduce carbon. They are putting climate impact ahead of company revenue. Biocarbon partners have been climate positive for the past 6 years. Since their formation in 2014, they are one of the first companies globally to offset more carbon than they emitted. In total, Biocarbon partners, together with their community partners and Zambia's government, have reduced over 7 million tons of carbon from being released into the atmosphere. They have also helped to protect over 514 million trees across almost 1.1 million hectares of vital wildlife habitat in the Luangwa to Lower Zambezi Valley. These are just two examples of how B Corps are in the front lines fighting climate change in Africa. With the tools, frameworks, support, and certification of B Corps, companies are able to measure, manage, and contribute to creating a positive and long-lasting impact on people and the planet. And customers buying from these companies know that the companies are not just making commitments, they are taking action. Providing these signals to consumers and the market can enable the growth of business for good. Businesses that can scale clean energy systems, integrate circular systems, and regenerate the land, all whilst generating profits, providing jobs, and benefiting communities. We need more businesses to join the B Corp movement and turn commitments into action.